Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton came very close to winning the nomination for quite a number of reasons that go beyond only her image. Her image, however, was quite a mess.
Before we get on to Hillary, it is important to realize that Bill ultimately didn't really have that much of an impact. Of course, she was always associated with him, but the amount of good and bad he did almost cancelled out.
As for Hillary, well, historically, such as during the Lewinsky scandal and during the 2000 Senate race, Hillary is most popular when she is shown as feminine.
However, her image was crafted through her hair, makeup, pantsuits, and such to make her appear as masculine as possible, and so she lost some of her advantage inherent with her being a woman.
Clinton's strategy for how she tried to portray herself was ultimately misguided. She ran on experience, preparedness, inevitability, and the connection between her and her husband.
This election was foremost about change from the old administration, whereas primary voters wanted to turn a page. Clinton reminded them of the past.
Clinton also made a number of gaffes throughout her campaign. For example, she claimed that she landed under sniper fire and ran with heads down in Bosnia. In reality, nothing of the like happened.
She was also criticized for her ridiculous negative attack ads against Obama, such as her 3 a.m. ad.
One of the turning points in Hillary Clinton's campaign was when she began to tear up over a question. This helped her initially, but critics soon began to challenge her crying as being calculated and on purpose. Clinton had built so much of a robotic, no-nonsense masculine image, even her crying was seen as potentially fake.
And so, on to the election. Before we talk about the candidates, let's talk about their running mates.
Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin is a hardcore conservative, right down to the skirt suit, done-up hair, and colloquial southern drawl.
Sarah Palin was extremely popular among grassroots conservatives, so much so that at one point just before the election, when Sarah Palin and McCain held separate rallies, only 500 people showed up to McCain's and 17,000 showed up to Palin's.
Palin didn't even have to try to appear conservative. She was a true member of the NRA her entire life and hunted since she was a child. This brought a lot of support from the members of the Conservative Party more enthusiastic about the Second Amendment.
Despite all this, however, there's a lot to criticize about Palin's image. First up, Palin does not come across as a strong speaker or even all that intelligent. She stuck strong to her talking points regardless of the question or situation, and often gave muddled, broken English responses to simple questions.
That's why I say I, like every American I'm speaking with, we're ill about this position that we have been put in, where it is the taxpayers looking to bail out. But ultimately, what the bailout does is help those who are concerned about the health care reform that is needed to help shore up our economy, helping the... it's got to be all about job creation.
Do you agree with the Bush doctrine?
In what respect, Charlie?
The Bush, well, what do you interpret it to be?
His worldview?
Sarah Palin was hated by the left, and there are even specific anti-Sarah Palin rallies. She really got both sides riled up.
To add to her critics' ammunition, Sarah Palin was involved in a number of scandals. Her strong belief in family values, in not teaching sexual education in school, and her opposition to programs that provide teen mothers with aid, all seemed a bit hypocritical when it turned out her teen daughter was pregnant.
But to conservatives and evangelicals, the fact that her daughter was not having an abortion helped them to realize Palin was truly one of them.
Another scandal involving Sarah Palin was her comment that she said, "Thanks but no thanks to the bridge to nowhere to be built in Alaska," when actually she was for it initially.
And she was also accused in the Troopergate scandal of firing a police chief for personal reasons. Similar stories arose involving another police chief and a librarian.
All of these stories helped discredit her authentic image somewhat, and some of her critics even went as far to call her Bush with lipstick.
Also known for ridiculous gaffes, for running alongside Barack Obama.
Joe Biden. A stubborn man, Joe Biden throughout his entire career has refused to move to Washington, D.C., and has commuted in from Delaware on the Amtrak train almost every single day. A commute he loves because he gets to interact with fellow Americans from all socioeconomic classes.
His rush to catch the last train home and his rank as one of the very least wealthy members of either the Senate or the House helped promote his image as just another hard-working American, who instead of going to the office every day from 9 to 5, instead goes to the Capitol.
Throughout his career, Biden has built a reputation for unbridled, all-consuming passion about many issues, usually resulting in controversial remarks.
Can you reassure your voters in this country that you would have the discipline you would need on the world stage, Senator?
Yes.
Thank you, Senator Biden.
He built a career on saying what he felt, despite the repercussions, frequently talking without thinking his word choices through fully.
Even though many considered him unstable, Joe Biden was nevertheless selected by Barack Obama to be his running mate in the 2008 election. Over his long distinguished career in the Senate, Joe served on many senatorial committees and panels, developing a pro-Western foreign policy, an area Barack Obama had seen much criticism for his perceived lack of experience.
He managed to constrain himself more on the campaign trail from Obama than per his usual. However, his occasional misstep was unavoidable.
And I also am told that Chuck Graham, state senator, is here. Chuck, stand up. Chuck, let him see you.
Chuck Graham is paraplegic. Despite being included in about only 5% of the total news coverage of the election, Joe Biden played a fundamental part in Obama's victory. His image of an experienced, impassioned, and everyday man helped gather large support from blue-collar workers in swing states such as Ohio and Florida, a demographic which Obama had been struggling with and was crucial to ensure victory.
And now, finally, the main attraction, the faces of their campaigns, the presidential candidates of 2008.
Ralph Nader.
And now a candidate who won more than 0.005% of the vote, and is not a complete joke.
John Sidney McCain III.